Oh, you brought up the flock cameras. We should talk about that too. So you mentioned just now that folks all over the district have raised concerns about flock surveillance cameras spying on them, which I feel like, a state like Missouri, there's a libertarian streak in a lot of folks.
Yep. We got rid of right to work. We raised the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Jeff City, the Republicans, supermajority taking it away. But no, we have a populist strain. Always have.
But yeah, part of that, of course, is, being wary of mass government surveillance, which is happening. The state has even blanketed rural areas with cameras that scan 20 billion plates a month nationally and feed them to police officers and ICE agents. Some Missouri cops are using the cameras to stalk their wives while they're at work. I have that story right here, which is, I guess expected. Here it is. Cops are already using license plate readers to stalk people, including another in Missouri created 542 test searches over the course of 10 months to monitor the whereabouts of both his wife's car and a mysterious second vehicle. What's your policy on cops getting? Should they be able to monitor and surveil their wives and numerous other Missouri folks?
I think I can say confidently that I am pro cops getting.
Okay,
so you go ahead and clip that one. I think I can go ahead and I stand behind that.
They should have to work it out in their marriage through communication rather than surveilling their wives.
Yes, like if you can bring the chair closer. You don't have to put a camera. Just move the chair a little bit closer.
A group called Deflock Joplin put that timeline together using Have I Been Flocked, where the pattern was reported to the Joplin Police Department and the allegations were duly investigated. But let's get back to the constituents because I'm fascinated with this district.
Yeah.
What have you been hearing from the constituents regarding the flock cameras, and what's your plan to regulate surveillance while you're in Congress?
Right, and so because we've got quite a few military bases that are in our state, and Mark Alford, the Republican incumbent, he's on the Appropriations Committee, and so he's just selling out our state to defense contractors. He's using loopholes that if you name something this, then we'll get money for this, but it's actually just going to weapons of war that's going to be used in Palestine. So yes, I am very much, I'm somebody, when we talk about defunding ICE, I think we need to go a step further because of course we're going to defund ICE, but we need to also defund the Department of Homeland Security, which is just a Department of Homeland Domestic Terrorism. And so we need to get rid of the security state. When I'm talking to folks, and this is when I say
they're surveilling you too.
Yes.
Like they're not just surveilling me, okay? If you're watching from Missouri and you're like, well, Hasan, that Hasan guy, keep an eye on him. They're surveilling you too. And sometimes it's the cops doing it.
Yep, exactly. And so we, and our folks, rural America, just like all Americans, what do you, don't look at me. Don't spy on me.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be, I've got some legislation that I'll be putting together, especially when it comes to, we talked about the military bases, whether there's any kind of testing of different weapons, because, they have the ability to test these things and not tell you what it is they're testing. But we can put legislation together that says if you're going to do a test, you have to let us know. And I think that's enough of a, eye raiser that folks can, what are we testing over here, right? So again, it's raising the consciousness, right?
Yeah.
And it is also being firmly against it. I want to make sure that we do everything we can to regulate. And by regulate, I mean hearings, investigations. We need to prosecute these folks. Again, we talk about in the online space, I think we also need to make sure we have a digital bill of rights or some sort of online personal bill of rights, just so that we have our protections, just so we know that our data isn't just being sent. When we hit accept all cookies, I don't know where those are going. I can't eat them, so I don't want them. So we just need to make sure that we stand firmly against these things that we know are terrorizing us. But we got too many folks who are Democrats who won't say that because they're taking Palantir money, Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the World Cup.
Yeah.
You brought up the fact that there's a temporary jail that was created. It's the city's first since 2009. Yeah. The city spent $26 million on this temporary jail for the World Cup. 24 community groups say it looks like an ICE detention center, and as of June 24th. There have only been 2 arrests, and weeks before kickoff, they did something that is really messed up, which is they reinstated bus fares.
Yep.
After years of being the first major American city with free transit. Let's watch this video from a friend of the show, Pablo Torre, finds out real quick about the World Cup. and the money being wasted. And then I want to ask you your opinion.
Never played each other at a World Cup. They would meet in Kansas City, which is an absurd kind of idea, right? That these kind.
Why is it absurd? Why is my man on Kansas City? It's not absurd. Kansas City is the heart of America and heart of the World Cup.
Say it louder. Say it louder for folks in the back.
Gladiators
for the cucks in the back.
Would eventually meet in Kansas City. So that would be an amazing game.
And so what did the public pay for the possibility, the privilege of hosting such matches? There is a particular big ticket item funded by taxpayers in Kansas City that, again, required a bit of a pop-up construction here, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, this is, of all the stories, I think, in the lead up to the World Cup, this is one of the more bizarre ones. A modular jail. So they said, we need a jail. And they said, we need a jail quickly because we might.
That's what I always think. I'm like, oh, a wonderful opportunity for the city, maybe boost some commerce,
right,
boost some attention, bring some shine to Kansas City. And I'm like, what can we do? Let's spend $26 million on a temporary pop-up prison.
That's it. That's the one.
It's so fucking stupid.
That's the one.
Need it during the World Cup.
There could be a streaker.
There could be. Who knows?
A guy in a wolf costume could turn into a bank robber again.
Yeah, and I think it was maybe based on perceptions of soccer fans that some people would argue are fair and accurate, that other people would say are typecast and a little bit outdated.
This is now 25.8 in totality. Who pays for that?
Essentially, 0.25% sales tax. From what I can see, that's around 24 million that brings in a year. So this is essentially over the year's budget in order to do that. And the city architect gave a construction update in which she provided some of the images for this jail.
Are you able to see that? Looks like ICE detention center. No windows.
I should say, I mean Melissa Robinson.
Good morning, Melissa Robinson, 3rd District Vice Chair.
Who is the council member who said that, actually voted to approve the project. So this was city council members, I guess, seeing the fruits of what they had voted for.
I mean, this is like the worst episode of House Hunters. It looks like an ICE detention center.
Yeah,
we love it. This is public money going towards the construction of this modular jail that is being built by a private contractor whose previous work is also worth noting here.
Why is it worth noting, Pablo?
Well, because the company's name is KBR, and you may know them from previous detainee facilities, such as the one at
Guantanamo Bay.
Which is, again, just like, great. Glad we got the Guantanamo Bay guys in Kansas City. I'm glad the World Cup has brought us all together.
We've reached 23,000, by the way, but that's not enough. We got to get to 33,000 now.
Man,
this global village.
Thank y'all.
And just the construction, the completion date of this, it said May of 26.
This is the catch of the whole thing. The World Cup jail is not ready for the World Cup. Messi and Ronaldo have never played it.
Yeah. Your thoughts?
I mean, it's insane.
It's insane. It's actually insane. And they didn't even mention, there's another jail that we just put up. They didn't even mention that one.
So what does that say about the priorities? Like, what does it say about our priorities that we can find $26 million for a pop-up jail, which might ultimately get used by ICE, but we're recharging working people just to ride the bus?
Yep. I mean, our city wasn't looking for a real public transit solution. They wanted a headline. You know, it's crazy to me that we can and in fact, doubling down on the World Cup, which I'm a former Division I athlete. I ran track, sprinter. Anything more than the lap is called punishment. I stand by that. Like I was out. My wife is Croatian. We watched Croatia win the other night. We were downtown. Watched the game through the windows. It felt like awesome. It was great. One of the reasons why the World Cup is here is because Kansas City is dope, and we have the best people in the world. And the powers that be hijacked our nostalgia, like I said earlier. How is it that we're going to add bus fares? We're going to add bus fares for the World Cup. We're going to add actually even more bus routes. Okay, this sounds great. World Cup's over. Guess what's going to happen to those extra routes? They're gone.
They're gone.
We have a streetcar.
No, the bus fare remains.
Bus fare remains. Now we have a streetcar, Hasan. Streetcar that goes downtown. Pretty parts of downtown, affluent. I live downtown, right? So like I use the streetcar.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the streetcar free? Why is the streetcar free that goes to, downtown River Market, affluent, to UMKC, the Plaza, affluent? But hold on now. Make sense. Why is that? Again, who is this city for? That's the question. It's not
Yeah.
for us, apparently.
Yeah.
And we have a mayor who would rather take PR trips and go to Super Bowls and jump in pools. And we call him his name's Quentin. He does this thing called the Quentin Shuffle. It's kind of like the Cupid Shuffle, but like just a whole lot less rhythm, like no rhythm at all, pretty much. And so you can do that. You can jump in circles for billionaires and answer their phone calls. But when single mom, when the disabled veteran needs to get from point A to point B, all of a sudden the city's nowhere to be found. It's a joke. And I love my city. I love the people of my city. In fact, I like some of the electeds in our city. But it is painfully obvious what is happening right now. This is gentrifying an entire city, not just certain parts of our town. It's all of us. We brag about all the out of towners who have moved into downtown now. As I'm gonna have to probably get forced out. My rent is still too high, and I'm running for Congress, and I'm looking at places where I'm gonna have to move because if all of this redevelopment happens, they put the stadium down there. It's not just a little. It's not the footprint of home plate to outfield. It's all of the area. It's going to kick us out. It's going to have all the profits go to the same rich folks who have bought out our politicians, the same folks who bought out the people who are going to be constructing it. And they're going to get their C-suites, and they're going to get their tickets to the games. They're going to get their campaign donations, and such is life until it's not going to be life anymore, because we're not going to allow it to happen. It's not going to be business as usual. We refuse. We've seen this, like I said, with our KC Ice Free campaign with KCDSA. We stand up, we fight back, we match the courage of the folks of our district. Our district is fascinating. We beat that stadium fight by 16. That's not just a bunch of wokies. That's not a bunch of commies. That's a bunch of people, working people saying this. Yeah. And so we'll say it again.
So I know this is almost like it's the same old song and dance over and over again, and it's becoming a bit of a cliche here as far as like horrible priorities for city and state government. But the Trump administration right now is scouting a warehouse in South Kansas City to turn it into a mass detention center and could cage as many as 10,000 people. ICE arrests in Missouri are already up 76%. And last year, masked agents stormed a Mexican restaurant in Liberty, grabbed a dozen workers, and a federal judge later ruled the raid warrantless. As a congressman, what is your plan to protect the immigrant families in Kansas City and around the country from a federal kidnapping operation that's snatching people off the street? And what is your take on ICE as well? What should we do with ICE?
Yeah, we're going to abolish ICE. It's not a few rotten apples. The tree is rotten. And so we're going to make sure that we abolish ICE. Again, we come from the organizing space. We show up for our folks. I guess just this morning, tragically, we just had a bunch of our folks abducted. I just was on the plane and saw the updates. And so we're going to make sure that we literally in the trenches are there for our folks. And on a legislative level, again, we're going to make sure that we talk about pathways to citizenship. We guarantee pathways to citizenship for anyone who was assaulted by these goons. Automatic. And I want reparations. I want accountability. We're going to prosecute these clowns. We're going to make sure that, we are going to lock them up, because you know what? That's barbaric. That is gangsterism. Illegal. It is also illegal.
Yeah.
And so we will prosecute.
It's time for law and order.
It's time for law and order. It's time for law and order.
No, but like actually,
it's time for us to uphold uphold American law, and I'll just be a human. And so, we will make sure all of these folks are held accountable. They will be prosecuted. We're going to introduce articles of impeachment. I don't care if we don't have the numbers to convict, although we might after November. But we need to have a merry-go-round of Democrats, a merry-go-round of progressives every single day for this entire cabinet. Every single day. We need to make sure that we, again, don't talk about reform. It is abolished, and it is to be remade in the image of people with a North Star of, I want you here. I don't want you not here. I want you here.
Yeah.
And we got to quit shadowboxing these right-wing conceptions. When Kamala VP Harris said, don't come, you should have told him to. When you talk about we want a lethal military force at the border, who are you talking to? If they wanted a Republican, they vote for Republican.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it all comes.
But again, remember, you're not just working to defeat a moderate Democrat who's wishy-washy and no one can identify exactly what his policies are, but you're working to unseat, or you're working to take out a Republican as well.
Yep.
And these issues still are issues that pertain to everyday existence of working class folks, regardless of their political ideology.
Well, because we can't expect to have any help from these reactionaries, right? Like, we know that they are the worst. We know that these are not serious people. And so again, we continue to show up for our folks, but like Mark Alford doesn't give a damn about us, right?
Yeah.
And so it is very much as we name that villain and attack that flank, we also need to say, like, where is my opposition party, dog? Like, what are you doing? And so it's not, we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah.
We can say do better as these folks continue to do worse.
Yeah. So you're running on publicly owned, permanently affordable housing and on repealing the Faircloth Amendment, the federal law that's blocked the construction of new public housing for decades.
Yep.
What does social housing look like in Kansas City under Congressman Gray? And how do you break the death grip that landlords and developers have on this country's housing supply?
Yeah. So we need to take on these corporate landlords. We need to get private equity out of our lived experiences, out of our life. So when I talk about social housing, and I'm informed by the tenants of our city, it is a home that is yours, democratically controlled. It's off the market, and it is funded in perpetuity. And it's all throughout our city, and it is based on the fact that housing is a human right. It's not that we need looser zoning restrictions, because also, who's the one deciding what should be loosened, by the way?
Yeah.
It's the fact that we don't have it funded. We need funding. And that was under President Clinton that we got the Faircloth Amendment, which is just gutted public housing. President Clinton and the Telecommunications Act is is one of the reasons why we're in the media landscape that we are today. While there is no radio, while there's the big 4 or 3, it seems like it's getting smaller
NAFTA
every single day. Exactly, right?
There's a reason why people in Missouri don't like the Democrats. And I think a lot of people automatically assume it's because, they're racist or this or that. And I'm sure there's, some voters who lean on that side for sure. But I think even those voters feel like there's no alternative. It's not like the other side is actually offering them any benefits. And all they've done as far as their form of governance, as far as their legislative agenda, has been jobs being shipped overseas and their quality of life diminishing. And in that anger and that frustration, they turn to the opposition that says, you're right to be angry. You're angry at what? You're angry at undocumented immigrants. Right. Actually, they're the ones who stole your jobs. And that's not the case, right? It's a capital owner that shipped your jobs away. And it's sometimes a Democratic Party that was working at the behest of these capital owners that shipped your jobs away.
You remember that clip? It was right after Trump got inaugurated the second time. There was this. It went viral. This guy, farmer, Trump guy, under Biden and the IRA, took a bunch of the subsidies to completely revamp his farm, his equipment. Ton of money, right? And then of course Doge happened. Trump took all that away. He could gutted all that, and he was on MSNBC, actually, big old burly white dude who was bawling his eyes out, and he was but his takeaway was that I will never do business with the government again. And so that's why we say we need socialists running everywhere, including in red to blue. Because my brother, you were so close. It's not the government. Yeah. It's the fact that you have these sellouts and oligarchs who are trying to make it so that you cannot be made whole from your government. Yeah. And so that's why it's I'm not educating, I'm not connecting that dot for you. I'm saying, my brother, I got your back, number one. And number two, can you feel what I'm saying, right? And sometimes it's just that simple. And so and so next time, I don't want him to not do business with the government. I want him to call out the folks in government who are him over. Yeah. And right now it's Trump and these reactionaries and these warmongers.
Going back to the primary, though, your main primary opponent, Jordan Herrera, is running as a bipartisan bridge-building moderate.
Okay.
He worked as an assistant attorney general under Missouri's far-right Republican attorney general. He won't touch the data center fight at all. He's been slippery on abortion, and he won't even say the word genocide when it comes to Gaza. What do you say to primary voters? Because that's what you're going into right now. What do you say to the primary voters who've been told a moderate is the safe choice? And why is now the right time for a Democratic socialist instead of, I guess, MAGA light, even though Kamala Harris basically lost on that front as well?
I want folks to tell me what they think moderate means. You know, when we talk about a better world is possible, I want folks then to tell me what that means. Like, what does the air feel like? Can you get from point A to point B? Can you go get a checkup? Like, what do you all think it means to say a better world is possible? Because so far, when I hear folks saying to go towards the center, all I'm hearing you say is a better world isn't really possible, and I don't really feel like working on it. Like, that is the difference right now, is we need someone who is going to fight unapologetically. I'm not going to be swayed or moved based off of what the algorithm says today or based off of what I think is supposed to be said today. No, I am running with a movement and of working folks' lived experiences. And I'm an organizer who comes from the space of co-governing, right? So like our folks, our movement, we should always be in lockstep. We should always be doing these things together. And if you're going to be wishy-washy on one thing, how can I, again, I'm circling back to the clip. I should have sent it to you, like, how can you be someone who says you want to champion working folks, you want to champion healthcare, and then go on a podcast and make fun of quote unquote meth heads? Like, how can you say you got so much great area, we love our folks in the Ozarks, but just don't talk to the meth heads? And then double down and say they make themselves known as a punchline.
Yeah.
So what is that moderate? Is that centrist? Is on working folks with addiction? Is that moderate? Because if that is, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But I think what our folks do want is healthcare, housing, a job, and to make sure that, we have a climate that's going to be around for a while. Because like, I want to go outside. I want to make sure that we don't have these crazy droughts that's making our yields even lower than the yields already are. I want to make sure that our folks are guaranteed it all. And if you're going back and forth because you're trying to play politics, I don't play pundit. I'm a person. We don't play games, period. We live and we win. And we don't win by someone who doesn't quite know what it is they want to do.
Yeah. You got to either or get off the pot.
Yeah. You got. By the way, you have a beautiful bidet in there. That was really.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
good.
no, I have a bidet in every bathroom in this house. I feel like bidet for all is my.
Yes.
If I was running for office, that's what I would make.
Bidet, baby.
Yeah. Okay. So, we talked about Jordan Herrera. You've been blunt about the state of Black political leadership. The Congressional Black Caucus has been seen as a way to defend entrenched political power and not create new opportunities for young Black men and women that want to rise through the ranks. You've said too many Black faces are being bought up in service of a genocide, in service of tax breaks for the rich. You've called out Hakeem Jeffries taking Palantir money while Palantir profits off of bombing children. What is your critique of Black political establishment and the Congressional Black Caucus, and what's your vision to change it from the inside if elected?
I've been extremely disappointed with the Congressional Black Caucus. Remember, formerly the conscience of the Congress. If that is our conscience, if this is where we are, then I think that we need a new conscience. I mean, how do I say this? And I guess it touches on what I said a little bit earlier, right? It's just the weaponization of one's Blackness in service to capital, in service to empire, in service to, in some cases, a Black bourgeois. Why isn't the Congressional Black Caucus championing Medicare for all?
Yeah.
Why isn't the Congressional Black Caucus championing the War Powers Resolution? Why are we taking AIPAC money, period?
Why are they the most outspoken when it comes to genocide in Gaza?
And that's one of the reasons why I ran initially in the 5th against Congressman Cleaver, is that, that seat before we were gerrymandered was a D plus 1,000, that should have been a seat that sets the agenda for the nation, a radical, bold, progressive, leftist, socialist agenda. And that is just not what we had. And I think, for example, Wesley Bell in St. Louis, case in point, we're not endorsed by Jamal Bowman, but he's a friend of the campaign. We saw what happened to Jamal Bowman with Latimer in New York.
I mean,
and even into my specific example, the person that reached out to me was a Black woman.
yeah.
So, it's a shame. It is disappointing. I'm not sure if I'd be allowed in the Black Caucus, to be honest with you. I'm going to try to, I'll try to get in, but I'm going to be very blunt, is that the era of do nothing goes to everybody. And so we're done with doing nothing. And we need, again, what happened to the conscience of the Congress? What happened to your moral clarity? What happened to love and liberation?
Yeah.
What happened to any of that? And so, no, I haven't, I haven't gotten, no one's reached out from the CBC to me. But my number is always open, and I would love to have a conversation because I would love to tell our folks some things that we need to do better or just do, period. Because right now it's been very disappointing, especially, and to shill for apartheid is just a level of, it's not even cognitive dissonance. It's just a level of fecklessness, a level of corruption and sellout. What Ta-Nehisi Coates said, there's a familiarity, right? He felt a familiarity when he was there.
Yeah.
How could you not? And we need to start calling Israel an apartheid state. It's apartheid Israel. It's not Israel. It's apartheid Israel.
Yeah.
And we need to call out our folks in the Congressional Black Caucus, and I plan on doing that. And that doesn't mean I'm not mean. In fact, I'm a pretty affable guy, but our folks need more than window dressing and take a knee photo ops.
Yeah. What about Hakeem Jeffries? Will you support Hakeem Jeffries' bid for Speaker of the House? And perhaps even more importantly than that, do you think Chuck Schumer is finally old enough to run for president?
I think that Chuck Schumer,
He should go older.
I think he needs a little bit more marinating.
Yeah.
He's close. I just want to see maybe another decade or two to see if he can really get there. No, I've already called for Senator Schumer to step aside. Get out of here. When it comes to Hakeem Jeffries, well, very similar answer to Darrell-Eliza. I'll talk with my constituents and see. No. The answer is no.
Okay. All right. What are your okay? So this is, I like to call this the Zoran question.
Mm-hmm.
He made it very easy to understand. Top 5 policies that he would like to be defined by. What are your top 5 priorities for Kansas City, and how would you go about implementing them?
Yeah, it is healthcare. It is housing, guaranteed job, living wage, union protected. It is taxing the rich, getting rid of Citizens United, big money out of politics. And then it is divesting from the war machine. Those are our big 5. Because everything, if we take care of those things, especially when we get money out of politics, the actual downstream of making our folks whole is going to be transformational. And that applies. There's no arbitrary boundary that would say you don't deserve all those things. And the reason why we don't have some of those things is because of the corruption and the gross and the swamp. And when we liberate ourselves of that swamp, everything changes.
All right, so we're going to do rapid fire, and then I have one last question.
Let's go.
All right, rapid fire. Do you support Medicare for all?
Yes.
$25 minimum wage?
Yes.
Universal child care?
Yes.
Social housing?
Yes.
Repealing the Faircloth Amendment?
Yes.
Abolishing ICE and prosecuting ICE?
Yes.
Cash reparations?
Yes.
A moratorium on data centers?
Yes.
Repealing the right to work nationally?
Yes.
Banning congressional stock trading?
Yes.
Ending Citizens United?
Yes.
Ending America's permanent wars?
Yes.
Ending all U.S. aid to Israel?
Yes. And by the way, we're going to free Puerto Rico as well.
Yeah. A free Palestine?
Free Palestine? No. I mean, I will champion.
No, I was asking on top of
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. From the river to the sea.
Okay. So the primary is on August 4th.
August 4th, yeah.
You've outraised your moderate opponent nearly 5-1, almost entirely on small dollar donations. You said the average is $21.
Something like that, yeah.
Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We are about to hit $30,000 on today's fundraising initiative, and hopefully we can reach $30,000. But for people hearing you for the first time today, what do you want them to understand about your convictions, and how can people chip in and get involved in your campaign, both inside the district and also outside or near the district?
Yeah, I mean, it comes back. I hope I'm not sounding like a broken record, but it really, for me, just comes back to the fact that you deserve so much more. You deserve actually the most. You deserve to be free and fed. We do have your back. And what does that look like? It's making sure we guarantee the basics. It's making sure that we are loud and proud and unapologetic in our support for working folks, not just here at home. Workers of the world unite, because that is our through line. It is our power as working people. And I guess that's it, right? I want our campaign to be one that empowers working people. We need to empower our folks to realize not just the potential that we've always had. It's more than potential. It's just who we are. And so if that can resonate, if that fires you up, if that you think can make you whole, then please join us as we build this better world together. Donations, obviously, grassroots campaign. I imagine after this episode is clipped, we're going to need a few more dollars to counter. I'm sure it will be an incredible amount of ads, but at least I look good because I got a haircut today.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I don't think it's bad at all. Listen,
it's actually worked in favor of virtually every single campaign.
I mean,
so
baby
far.
boy, you batting 1,000 right now. So, congratulations. I need that Hasan bump. And
hopefully.
But no,
inshallah.
It is, inshallah. It is just one of those things where, anyone tells you don't deserve it, ask them why, and you'll find out who's paying for them to say that. So don't listen to that nonsense. Don't listen to the pod save bros. You save, we save each other. And I guess that's it. HartzellForCongress.com. Donations, absolutely, but also volunteers, phone bankers. If you are in the Missouri area, come and kick it. We just had our office opening. It's dope as hell. Come and vibe and just pack your bags as we get ready to go to Congress. We're going to take 2 socialists from Missouri back to Congress. Like, what the hell is that? And also shout out real quick to, again, my chapter DSA, Kansas City Democratic Socialists of America. Also shout out my boy Isaiah on the Kansas side, endorsed by the Southeast Kansas DSA. So we are building power, and there's no better way to do it than with each and every one of you. So would love to have you join us on this movement because we got us, and there's no better way to do it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Some more primary voting information for everybody tuning in from the district. The voter registration deadline is in person July 8th, 2026, by mail, postmarked by July 8th, 2026, online July 8th, 2026. Absentee mail-in voting is not available to all voters. But the absentee mail-in ballot request deadline in person by August 3rd, 2026, by mail, received by July 22nd, 2026, online July 22nd, 2026. And the absentee mail-in ballot return deadline is in person by August 4th, by mail, received by August 4th, 2026. And early voting is available to all voters.
And check where you are, because we got a new map. I mean, Mark Alford, the incumbent Republican, is the rep of Missouri 4 in this new maps. It is live. It's illegal, but it's live. And I had a lot of folks who did not realize that, no, Alfred is your guy right now. So definitely check and make sure you know what district is yours. And then let's plug in, let's lock in.
Yeah, and the early voting start and end deadlines is July 21st, 2026 to August 3rd, 2026. And polls are open on Election Day, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. CT.
I have a request for you, though, if you don't mind,
What's up?
Hasan. So, because I'm trying to get you to Kansas City, right? Just got to get you to Missouri. And I come from pro wrestling. I'm a pro wrestling guy. I'm a commentator. I wrestle a little bit myself. And I'm just saying,
Sami Zayn just won as the first Muslim.
First Muslim, right?
Yeah, I know him too.
You know Sami Zayn?
Yeah, I mean, not like we've
AKA,
communicated on the internet.
Mr. Generico also in a previous life. No, I come from pro wrestling, right? And I'm just saying, the main event of let's just say we call it, I don't know, Fight for the Fourth. I'm just saying a tag team of Hartzell and Hasan taking on some jabronis.
You want me to do pro wrestling?
I want you in the ring. I need my tag team partner.
I got someone who's my best friend is obsessed with wrestling, and he's done a little bit of not pro wrestling, but like he's learned how to do it, and he's worked with some pro wrestlers as well. I mean, we could potentially make it happen.
No, here's the thing. I need this to happen. Because this is what the people need. It's what they want. You got to give the people what they want. Okay. And I just think that a chance for me to take my shirt off in a campaign setting is something that I just don't want to turn off. So if you could, you hear what I'm saying, right? We could do something.
We reached 30K as of now, so we can potentially make it happen.
Hartzell and Hasan fight for the fourth. Ooh yeah, dig it, brother. Ooh yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll bring back.
All right, y'all heard that?
Bring back.
That's confirmation. Where's our contract signing?
I'll
Can we
bring
do that?
back. What was his name? Muhammad.
Yes. Oh. Kids, ask your parents. There you go.
Yeah. No, we've watched it on the stream. It said
It's actually insane.
It's
like
such
that
a
whole
funny
thing
character
was
because
crazy.
back then, when you watch it back then, he's obviously like the villain.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you listen to what he's saying with today's perspective, you're like, wait a minute, he's like not wrong.
It's literally, he was just doing Mandela. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah,
what are
he
we
was
doing?
he was literally talking about how like all Muslims are being blamed for the crimes of the few, and it's like America's actions have actually destabilized this region.
Oh, he got deep. It was
Yeah.
it was a hell of a promo.
Muhammad Hassan.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he now owns a car dealership.
Oh, he does.
He does. Mm-hmm.
He's also not Muslim.
No, not at all.
Or not even Arab. I think he's like Italian or something.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Yep.
And it was always hilarious because his manager was speaking in Farsi.
Yep.
And he didn't speak Arabic at all, but he would just like say a couple Arabic words. But then his manager would come out and speak in Farsi, and you're like, what the fuck is this? If you know anything about, if you're from the Middle East, you're like, what the fuck? It
was wild.
None
man.
of this makes sense.
Absolutely crazy.
But it was awesome. I love, like, I'm fascinated with like American
versus the Undertaker. That was that,
American, American culture, and some of that is, racism. And I think there's some very funny moments that come out of that when they're just like trying to piece these things together.
Pro wrestling, it goes through Kansas City, the heart of professional wrestling. It really does. Handsome Harley Race, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, man. So what I'm saying is we can add Hasan's name to the history books of professional wrestling. I'm
also an old man though. I'm 34. I'm about to be 35. So.
We're the same age. What do you mean old? You ain't unked up.
Yeah, but you're athlete. You're an athlete. I'm not.
Just
I play.
stop it
I now destroy my ankles every time I play basketball. You know what I mean? It's just it sucks.
I saw you did some pull-ups the other day.
Yeah, I did some pull-ups for Claire's campaign. I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey, it worked.
We'll see. We'll make it happen. But thank you,
my brother.
Hartzell.
I appreciate you, man.
This was great.
So
this
much.
was wonderful. All right, everybody. I'm gonna play you this. Wait, not this clip. I'm gonna play you GOP Rep Alford. While I walk Hartzell out and take a photo with him. And then we're going to be back to doing regular commentary.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay.